And we're live. Yes, hello, yes.
Hello.
Welcome to the Live Reality Game Show podcast. I'm your host, Lee. Once again, back with me, sadly, is Erin. And tonight, it's personal, and we are going to talk about it.
Yes, we are.
Erin, oh, it's so sad to see. How are you doing?
Well, it's been a couple years, so doing okay. No, I'm doing well. Living it up in New York, as we talked about last time. So yeah, I'm living my best life.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. We just had you on the podcast, and now we have you on again, but this time for much
hmm
sadder reasons than your best friend going. You
Yeah, that was
yourself
still sad.
going.
It was still quite sad.
Would you say were you more sad about you being voted off or when Dylan was voted off? Because it was a lot of crying.
Yeah, I would say it. I think it was very different emotions. I think it was definitely way more sad when Dylan was voted off. And then it was a lot more angry and hurt when I was voted off. So, as far as what was
Yeah,
sadder, I think it was definitely Dylan going.
yeah, because we kind of got a hint that you were upset when you got voted off with the people.
Just a tad, yeah. I don't think
Just a
I really let.
tad.
I don't think I really let it get to me, honestly.
No, no, you very much kept your composure together.
Yeah, I like to think so.
I think the big question everyone wants to ask, have you talked to these people since? Because we all know it's a certain someone missing from Keep Your Torch Lit.
Yeah, I am perfectly chill and perfectly civil with pretty much everybody. There's no like Harvard anger or anything like that. Like there's definitely people that I'm not best friends with at this point. But overall, as far as Keep Your Torch Lit, I was just like, this is my chance to kind of say what I want to say, and I didn't want to have somebody there that was gonna like rebut all of that and like try to put his spin on everything. And I'm like, this is not about you. So I wanted that to just be my time, say what I wanted to say without fear of having to like hold something back because he was right there. And it's like, I just wanted to be able to speak my piece without, yeah, having to feel like I had to hold anything back or without being, you know, rebutted. So that's the reason. And Sam was super chill about it. He was the one that like reached out for scheduling purposes. And I was like, he was he's a very nice guy. Like he's very much, no bad blood. No, he doesn't like having people not like him. So I
Who
don't hate
does?
Sam. I don't hate Sam in the purposes of when talking about Michigan All Stars, I don't want to talk about that with Sam.
I mean, you can be best friends with someone and have certain things where it's like, maybe we don't need to talk about this. And we did
Exactly.
get to hear Sam's side of it in the recap part, and he was very respectful about it. He mentioned, like, me and Erin are good. We don't hate each other. We're not going at war with each other across states.
Yeah.
And pretty much his defense to why he was targeting you was because you're Erin, who wouldn't target you. So very
Yeah.
complimentary. We like Sam on this podcast. I mean, he's he's on my draft team for the Michigan, which I'm doing okay. I only lost one person, and that's because I was randomly given Tom. Although
That you could have
the
gotten really
irony,
lucky with that, but
I could have. I mean, my other options were Will and Akshay, who also did not do well. There was a couple of
Mhm.
people on the wheel, but let's just say there was more I would have preferred.
Fair.
Also, funny thing about my pick, my first two picks were Sam and then Adam. They're always meant to be together.
I guess so.
So I guess let's go back a few episodes. After post Dylan trauma, we get to the swap, which yay, swap. Or more like, okay, Megan's no longer on your tribe, but let's bring in four new people on with how things went. So I think, would you say the swap? Would you say you were swapped screwed or chosen screwed? Because we know Sam ultimately picked you to be on his tribe to vote
Mhm.
you off.
Right. I think Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I would have, if I was not with Sam in particular, especially, I would have had a much better go of it. Um, but like being with Sam, Lucy, and Adam all together really, really tanked me. And yeah, it was such a whole range of emotions. It was such a roller coaster, all in that just a span of 5 minutes of like, yes, we get to swap, like super excited. Like threw my buff to the ground and like fist pumped, and I was just so excited for a swap. And that was one of the things like um talking to my mom after, because I called my mom after every single tribal council challenge, whatever. My mom's always caught
Aw.
up on what's going on. So like talking to her, I was just like, I just need a swap is what I need right now. And especially after Dylan went home, I knew that I had no shot if like that original Pawnee tribe went to tribal council again. Like I had no shot. So I was so excited, when they announced that it was a swap. And then yeah, one of my like honestly only and biggest regrets is not like fighting when I got chosen almost. Like I genuinely would rather have just been like, can I just be the person that's not picked? Like I would have literally offered to be in the Jesse position if it meant that I didn't have to be with that group. Um I don't know what they would have done. I'm sure they would have said no, but I wish I would have at least tried, you know?
I mean, you have Brady the host. He has to rig it for you.
You would hope so. You would
Yeah.
definitely hope so.
What's the point of having your friends run the entire show without the fix in it?
Yeah, right.
Which that must have been another hard thing, like with him reading the votes and ultimately like seeing like, oh no, Erin's the one
No.
that's gone home. See, even the dog's upset.
Yeah, no, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put him in the bathroom.
No worries. If you guys have any questions for Erin while she's on the pod, please
No, I'm not. He's going away
comment.
from me. It's fine.
Oh, say that. So yeah, Brady ultimately reading the votes and being the one to snuff your torch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was not ideal. Obviously, it was, and I kind of talked about this on I talked about this on like Keep Your Torch Lit too, where it was like kind of a there was two sides of it where it was really nice to just kind of have my friend there right away. But him being the one to like, yeah, read the votes and snuff my torch, it's like you want there to be a little more disconnect there. You want it to just feel like some neutral party is doing that, not somebody that
Yeah.
you know, are very close friends with. And so it just like, I don't know, it felt a little extra bad, honestly.
Yeah, because looking at how the votes went, 4-3-2, Jackson played his idol.
4-3-1. Yeah.
4-3-1, yes, there was only 8 of you. Jackson playing his idol, ultimately sending you home, idling you out. The only way to get out Erin is to idle her out. But the one thing, so we found out on Keep Your Torch Lit that Sarah Gallagher actually told both you and Jackson the whole plan.
Yes.
I have some questions. Why tell you, and why put the majority on Jackson knowing he's playing his idol? Why not just put the majority on you and just tell Jackson, yeah, you're the majority, but make you the majority, wasting his idol instead of giving him a proper idol play? If you were ultimately
I don't think the goal was to like, the goal was just to make sure that the idol was played. So
I thought the ultimate goal was to get you out, so that's why I was confused.
well, I mean, it's both, but like I think primarily it was to get the idol out of the game. And so it's like, yeah, you're going to put the majority on Jackson just in case he doesn't play it, because then the idol is out either way.
And then another thing, why tell you? If the majority's on Jackson and Jackson believes this plan on going on Lucy, the idol will still be gone. And even if he does play
the
it,
secondary goal was to get me out. This was the way to make sure that both the idol and me went out.
Well, I still don't get it. Maybe our next host can.
I was gonna say you can ask somebody who was a part of that plan, because I'm not.
Let's see what our second guest has to think about it. So, hey Shane.
Hi Lee. Hi Erin.
Hi Shane.
We're having a Scotty Survivor recap reunion here.
I'm happy to be here. always
Yeah.
here for Erin. So
Introducing now Shane, one of the co-hosts of Scotty Survivor. If you have not seen either of the seasons, then you're completely missing out. Season 1 was a mess. Season 2 is on a whole different planet. So, Shane, how have you been? How have you been thinking of the season?
I personally have been enjoying it a lot. I was very disappointed with the outcome of this since Erin and I are very good friends. In fact, I'm literally leaving to go see Erin in like 10, 15 minutes. So,
Yep.
I think Ian is a master. Like, he's just so freaking good at this. And so it's made it super interesting to watch. Even if things weren't going the way I personally hoped they would, at least it's completely entertaining to watch, and you never know what's coming next.
Yeah, I was fully convinced watching during like the tribal council edit, being like, "Yep, Lucy's going home, 100%."
I knew as soon as we got that Erin confessional, like before the vote, where she was talking about like, oh, the plan's gonna go well. I was like, the plan's not going well, but I don't know which way.
It's like something's going to go wrong. You just don't know exactly.
Yeah.
As you know, being a Survivor editor yourself.
Yeah, no, Ian is really good at like tricking people as well. So I was like fully convinced that Jackson was the one leaving, but obviously it makes sense that he would have played the idol.
Yeah, especially when you're told you're being sent home unless you play an idol, which
Right.
was our topic before we came on. What do you think that the plan that Sarah Gallagher had to tell Jackson and Erin, yeah, we're not actually going with you. This is how the votes are being split. Play your idol.
I think Sarah was probably thinking, hey, I have some chance to gain even a little bit of favor since like I'm making a decision that is against these people, but I'm at least going to give them a shot if they have something to save themselves. And I would be very surprised if like either of them had written her name down since she was the one who had told them. So like let's say Erin had an idol as well and they happen to both stay, or like somehow the plan goes wrong and they both stay. Sarah at least told them, like at least gave them a heads up, whereas I don't know if the others gave any indication, but they would have left you completely blindsided. Whereas so like that's, in my opinion, that's good gameplay of giving somebody, like especially in an all-star season where like anything can happen, like you never know if your plan is going to work. Having some sort of backup, I think it was smart of her.
Yeah, and I was definitely surprised seeing who were the Erin votes, seeing that it was Sarah, Jackson, and Bree, and that the three main people that were hardcore gunning for Erin didn't even vote for her.
I think that probably was intentional. I mean, I can't say, but if I were thinking about it, I would say probably an intentional choice that if somehow Erin stayed, it's like, well, look who voted for you. It's those three and not us.
That would not have helped their case. I
Yeah.
think they knew that they were dead on arrival with me regardless.
Well, I'm not
like
exactly
after
sure,
coming out of that.
I thought that was very strange as well.
Was there like Erin any hope in working with either Sam, Adam, or Lucy? Because we did surprisingly see some confessionals with you and Lucy.
Coming into All Stars or like after the first tribal?
After, like, once the swap happened, or like after the first tribal?
No.
Or was it just like they're dead to me?
I mean, it's not that they're dead to me. Like, I still had conversations with them. I was still like, you're in this game and I'm in this game. Like, let's at least talk. But like I said in the episode, I knew that every single conversation I had with Sam was bullshit. And I knew it was the same with Lucy and with Adam. And it's like, yeah, when Lucy has that, when she's saying to me in our conversation and she's like, oh, I told him not to pick you. And then I saw her like actually laughing in the episode, like while he picked me and then while I'm getting voted off, it's like, okay.
She's just having a time. She's constantly laughing. And then you have Adam on the other end crying.
That confused me. I am curious to know if that's touched upon in the next episode, because I feel like that really came out of nowhere. So I was very surprised by that.
I mean, Sarah was surprised. Everyone's not making a meme of her reaction.
Sarah's reaction face to that was perfect. Perfect.
It felt very much like Why are these people crying? Why do they have emotions?
Well, I totally get like why Erin would, and I totally get like it makes sense. Like if you put, I think it's hard for people that are watching this to remember that like this is sometimes more than just like a game. You pour like your whole college experience into this type of club for like months, years, and you finally get the chance to play again and it's cut short early. Like that is it's really not even necessarily about like I'm only speaking from my standpoint, but like it's not even necessarily about winning. Like it's about having the experience. Like getting to do this is just something you like really don't find a lot of places. I know there's like LRGs, but like in a college environment, it's so unique. And so the opportunity to play again and like it's different once you're voted out. It is 100% a different story. So being voted out and being emotional about it makes complete sense to me. Especially if it's an all-star season. But
it wasn't even just that for me.
yeah.
Like I was going through a lot of personal shit at this time.
Yeah, you had a rough
Like,
go. Like
yeah, my great grandmother had just died, and my entire like drumline friend group was falling apart around the same time too. So I literally it felt like Survivor was all I had. So
yeah.
it was that like that's what really crushed me was that it's like this is the only thing that is going. It wasn't even going well, but it's the only thing that I had going for me. It felt like because on the other end of it, like nothing in my actual life was going right. So I was just really hopeful that I could get some footing in the Survivor world, but that did not happen. So.
I think you had. I mean, obviously there were like probably things that you'd probably go back and do like a little bit differently, like that first week maybe. But I think you were also dealt like a really tough hand, especially at the swap. Like that was really brutal to watch the pick. Like that was rough. I don't exactly get the strategy there. Like I'm not like what was the thought? Like they were gonna be a team of 4 and then you'd be gone? Like
yeah, that was pretty much it.
Like it's never that simple, you know what I mean?
I get it as like a just in case. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I think it was just the presentation of it that was so obvious of like I'm going to pick Adam, I'm going to pick Lucy, and then I'm going to pick Erin. It's like if there was even another person thrown in there, like remove Adam or Lucy and put somebody else in, then it doesn't even feel as bad. But it was those exact picks in sequence that was like that's what hit, you know what I mean?
Well, to me it's for the whole argument to be, oh, we're not working together, which we saw a lot this episode. Like
who were they fooling with that?
Yeah,
I mean, apparently Nick, Bree, and Sarah.
I from the edit at least, it doesn't seem like they were fooled. It just seems like they picked their side.
Yeah, I think. Well, now that we mentioned sides, think we need to bring up the axis of evil.
I literally, Lee, let me tell you, when that title drop happened, not a single part of me thought that was about me. Not a single part of me was like, oh, that's got to be me. Like, I was shocked when Sam said the actual episode title. I was like, me? Megan? Evil?
Yeah, that's shocking to me. I also was very shook.
I convinced myself that it was the other way around. I thought it was you calling their lines the axis of evil because
That's
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you not know how evil you are? You voted with friends.
I know. How dare I?
You aligned with someone who was in a secret relationship. Kevin was there.
Okay.
Kevin is evil. I will give him that. And Jackson is also kind of evil.
Kevin's a sweetie, though.
But he is evil.
In the game,
especially in Survivor. Kevin's deeply evil.
Yeah. So I mean, the one thing that I was thinking about is like on Keep Your Torch Lit, Jack was like talking about how like it's like Erin, like the person who's like the hero of this season, like both times, like the fan perception is like largely very positive. Like you have a huge underdog arc. It doesn't like that was very shocking to watch. But I mean, I understand as somebody who's like played and hosted, I understand when you're playing a game and somebody's against you,
Yeah.
it's like they're evil
The
because
sense,
they're not
exactly.
working with
In the
me.
sense of like, yeah, you're the hero of your own story. So
Right, absolutely.
Sam probably thinks that he's a hero too. He was like, oh, like when we thought at the beginning it was heroes versus villains, and Sam's like, oh, I'm on the heroes tribe.
Was he actually?
I mean, the blue tribe, yeah, Pawnee. But that was not. It wasn't heroes versus villains. Like that was the rub.
If I was casting heroes versus villains, Sam's is not on the hero tribe.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, like I am impressed by the fact that he was able. It seems like it was him. Maybe it was partly Lucy, but it really seems like it was him. I am impressed that he was able to sway those three, considering all the.
And this is my interview. We're not saying positive things about things like that.
We have to constantly talk shit about Sam, Adam, and Lucy.
We don't have to talk shit about them. We just don't have to compliment
Understood.
them.
Yeah. Well, okay. We are not a shit talking podcast. We only talk good things about who's with us.
Yes, I like that.
How about it was shocking to see.
That's better.
It was shocking to see. I mean, it was shocking to see Bree, Nick, and Sarah choose that side, considering all that had happened in the game thus far. Like, there is so much that's happened already, and Sam has been a really central part of that, who is a huge target. And I get the argument of having a shield, but I am also surprised by the choice to go after Jackson and Erin, who nobody seems to want to work with in the game besides Megan, and apparently Kevin, who started the whole rumor, which was
And that's the thing, is that it's not even a real alliance. Is that there's no group chat. There's nothing. We have never met up. Anything like that. We've all met up individually, I think, but like there was never a group chat. So like I don't understand when like I think it was like Emily B was like, "Oh yeah, Bailey told me that like Kevin showed her receipts from this alliance." I'm like, "How could there be receipts? There was nothing there was no purchase. There were no purchases. There can be no receipts."
Unless he was like, he said in text messages to like Megan being like, "Yeah, you, me, Erin, and Jackson, and that's it."
Yeah.
It's Kevin's word against the world's.
I mean, it's so many times like hearsay is what ends up happening in Survivor. So like one person says something and it's immediately truth, whether you like it or not. Like anybody will, if you're paranoid enough, you'll believe what you hear. So, and especially in such a high strung season like All Stars, where I think Michigan too, like to an extreme, like you can tell how much they care about it. Like I'm not saying like other All Stars are not like that, but like this one, I feel like the stakes are like really, really, really high.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 to compare it to.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that have aired.
Yeah, I know there's probably like more in like production for other college survivors.
Yeah, oh, totally. And like I'm just based on what I've heard.
Yeah.
So
Out of the 2 fully aired seasons.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That are out there in the world.
I mean, Maryland was pretty high stakes, but this is also right up there with it. Like I feel like the emotional trauma that they're all under.
Yeah, this is just a season of trauma.
Yeah, that is a great way to put it.
I also kind of want to bring up, every tribal you went to never went well for you. But I feel like all the tribals you didn't go to, everyone that was against you went home, because Emily P went home. Will went home. Tom's not good for anyone's game, so
Tom is great for anybody's game that's on his tribe, because he will always go before you.
Yeah, so it's pretty much every time you went to a tribal, something horrible happened. But every time you didn't go to a tribal, something great happened.
Yeah.
And also, this is just a season 3 massacre, because we lost Dylan, then Emily, then Will, now Erin. All that's left are the people nobody thought were coming back. All the season 3 big names
Emily
are
B
gone.
and Jesse.
And Andrew.
And Andrew.
Okay. Well, I feel like Andrew has like a pretty strong reception just because he was rocked out.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, though, I mean, what else is he bringing to the table other than the fact he got rocked out? So did Kara from season 1, and nobody's talking about her.
We do not do Crouch slander here. We love Crouch.
I mean, I was a huge Crouch fan, and I think it's just because he's an entertaining, like, confessionalist, and you could like I thought he was like a huge contender, so him going out in episode 3 was a big hit. I feel like that's like playing a very different game than Kara, who is less present than
Yeah, I know.
like when you have a cast like season 1, when you have like Lavana, Akshay, the Alex's, Liz, like Mitch. There's so many people, and Matthew. There's so many people that are like Cooper. I said Cooper.
You did not say Cooper.
Cooper. That's like a cast where like they were getting most of the screen time, so like Kara seems less like of a character comparatively, even though no idea. So I have no idea whether that's true or not.
Yeah, not really. She wasn't really much. I just bring it up
What
because
we're
like
seeing
rock
is an
draws.
edit, right? It's an edit. Like we don't really know what happened other than the edit. Like I'm sure there's much more that went into it.
Yeah, but we'll just have to. I was going to say we had to have Aski, and he didn't edit season 1. Somebody call Claire after she's done like winning another reality show.
Get George Jane on the phone.
Iconic of her.
Yeah, let's see. She's produced the Survivor, was on Big Brother, done The Amazing Race. We need to get her on some other show now. Get her on Traitors. I hear that's a big hit.
Oh my god, it was so good.
So good.
I still need to watch the US one. I've only seen the UK one.
US one was, I mean, Suri.
US one was fire.
I would imagine. What else does... I thought of something, then I immediately forgot it. So, let's talk about this challenge real quick, and this is probably not something I'll ever say again. Let's talk about Leia in this challenge, drunk off her mind.
I loved somebody in the live chat, or I think it was in the live chat, was like, Leia's really trying to be iconic. That was so funny.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
She's only like 3 years in. How weak is she?
I know, that's I'm sorry, I had the same
thought. I don't mean this in a negative way, but I'm not exactly sure how drinking that much would help you win a challenge.
I don't think that was the goal of it. Like it was, they were beers for tribal, and then we just so happened to have the challenge right after tribal. So it's like you might as well, and you're just sitting during the challenge, so you might as well keep drinking, you know?
I mean, let's get a drunk tribal happening. Everyone in the show is legal, right?
Not everyone. Most are.
Vote off the underage ones and then just
right, like Adam. That'd be good.
He's taking shots before he's doing challenges.
Yeah.
I think another thing to mention is... Oh, what are you going to say, Shane?
I was just saying it was a time to watch.
Yeah, that was a... Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Michigan is turning into a Pornhub show with the amount of fetishes.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Not my words. Everyone's talking about how like Michigan's now like a foot fetish channel.
That I have seen, and I talked about that on Keep Your Torchlit as well.
How did we get from foot fetish to that, though? That's what I want to know.
The amount of shirtless men we're seeing, the fact that we had a shower confessional from Adam where we could have seen something.
That's just a very... Here's the thing. You have to understand that shirtless men are just kind of like... It's like water in Survivor Michigan. Like, it's like...
I'm not complaining. I'm enjoying the view. I'm just noticing that
literally,
a lot.
Every single Survivor party, half of the guys are shirtless by like 12:30.
But I feel like we don't see as much as we do on All Stars. Like if I rewatch the other seasons, I'm not seeing
right, because it's usually at parties. It's usually when they're drunk. But now I think in like All Stars, I think a lot of guys were like, oh well, gotta show it off. Or they just, they saw Brady and they were like,
so true.
but they were like, they just wanted to live up to their host. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and very few of them live up. I can think of maybe 2.
Name names, Lee. Who are you crushing on?
Andrew and Jackson. Like they're the only ones. I mean, Cooper's fine as well, but
Cooper's fine.
I can't let that get to his ego.
Fair enough.
Sam as well, but now I'm just going to start listing off the entire cast. I shouldn't. You're all attractive, okay? Deal with it.
Well, I have to leave in a minute if I'm going to be on time, but I guess my
I'm
like
sure your host would understand if you're a little late.
Shane's gonna
My,
pop in at the back end of this podcast and just
literally.
come into my frame.
I guess my like last question for Erin is, I'm sure you've already been asked this, but like, what was the most surprising thing watching all of this back? Not just this episode, but like this specifically.
Oh, that's a good question.
Just all
I
stars.
think I would say, like, for me personally, I would say it's how much Nick underestimated how much I love him. Because Nick is truly one of my favorite people in the whole world. And I said this on Keep Your Torch Lit too, but he was like, I remember in episode 1 bonus scenes, he was like, you know, Erin's way closer to Cooper than I'll ever be. And I'm like, that is like slightly true, but the difference is I would die for Nick and I would die twice for Cooper. Like, that's how it is.
What does that mean? You died twice for him.
And
Like,
I would do anything for Cooper.
Uh,
But and that's like, and he's not wrong. Like in the, like Cooper's, when he had a confessional and he was saying like a lot of people will bring me far, but only Erin will bring me to the end. And that's true. I 100% would have brought Cooper to the end.
Shout out Syracuse Mini.
Yes. So
yeah, I'm here with Syracuse Mini finalists. I just need Cooper.
True. That's true. He'll be here soon too. We'll get him in.
Once he gets voted off, or if he comes to the party.
Oh, I meant in my home.
It's literally going to be a reunion for you.
No, it is, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like half of Survivor Michigan's in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a contingent here and we have a contingent in Chicago pretty much, and that's basically where everyone is. Akshay's in, we've got some people on the West Coast, like, yeah, Akshay's in California, but...
Yeah, anyway, so I gotta hop off. Thanks for having me, Lee. Erin, see you soon. Go watch all the Survivor Michigan content ever. It's great. Ian's a rock star.
And a new Scotty trailer dropping very soon.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the month.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, don't forget to plug your own season, your own series.
It's not about this is about Erin and Survivor Michigan. There's my own channel for that.
Yeah, we'll recap Scotty once that comes out, and we'll most likely have the same 3.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye, Shane. Love you.
Bye. I'm also seeing a new trend. Are we seeing a trend of Erin's getting 16th place?
I guess. I hope not. I would call it maybe more of a curse than hopefully a trend, but we'll see if we have any other 16th place Erins on future Michigan seasons. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to cast them all and see. Battle of the Erins. We'll have a battle.
I will say, little teaser, I am the casting director for season 6, so
Ooh,
who knows?
Is your name Erin? Yes. Hired. I wonder who the GOAT Erin is.
Oh yeah, great question. Really hard pick there.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Erin that almost won.
Yeah, maybe. It could be.
So how would you compare your season 5 journey to your season 3 journey? I know they were both traumatic.
Yeah.
You cried a lot in both.
Yeah. I just cry a lot in general. I'm a very emotional person. I'm sure that doesn't come across at all on screen, but...
Oh no, very calm, very collected, very rational.
Right. I don't think I've ever, like, you know, raised my voice or shown any hint of emotion.
No.
I think it's... So I said this on Keep Your Torch Lit too. Season 3 was easier to play and harder to watch. And season 5 was harder to play and easier to watch. Because in season 3, it's like, yeah, like, some shitty things happened, but it was pretty much just one night where I, you know, read all of those texts, and then I was able to actually, you know, get some footing and do well and, like, kind of take control of things. But in season 5, when the same kind of thing happens and I'm just immediately placed on the bottom, I knew I was on the bottom and I really couldn't do anything about it, like, even though I tried really hard, you know?
Yeah. At least it wasn't like blindside.
Sorry?
At least it wasn't like a blindside. So, like,
I honestly kind of, like, thinking back, I wish it was. I would have rather not known. I would have rather Sarah not told me.
Yeah,
If
just
I
like
understand why she needed to tell Jackson, but I
why you as well.
literally just, because it was just building up throughout the entire tribal council, like throughout the entire questioning, throughout the entire like voting. I was just getting more and more depressed and angry because I knew what was coming. I knew what was about to happen. And then the catalyst was definitely like expecting a tie at least and maybe having a chance to fight. And then Jackson voting for me and not even giving me the opportunity for a tie. That really, really broke me at the time.
Yeah, because I know watching, a lot of people were shocked at the fact that Jackson did vote for you. Now we kind of know it was like, well, he was
No.
told. You were both told prior to the plan, and I think you also mentioned this on Keep Your Torch Lit. If people don't know what this podcast is that we're referencing, don't worry, it's not that good. Never heard of it.
Never heard.
It's kind of like not to draw it out.
Yeah, it was because there was no. Yes, this is Twinkie,
Yeah.
the infamous idiot.
The-
But yeah, it was, and he like came up to me like right after, you know, Brady said his final words. Then Jackson came over. He was the only one, obviously, because I told everyone else not to talk to me. So Jackson came over and like hugged me and kind of like let me know that he was like, yeah, we knew what was going to happen regardless. Like a fight wasn't going to do anything. A discussion period wasn't going to do anything. So he was like, I didn't want you to have to sit through a revote. Just,
yeah, because
but it's like at that point, that's kind of what the whole tribal felt like, knowing that I was going to go home. So
yeah, you would have really had to fight for like Nick, Bree, and Sarah. But at that point, where it's like, if they wanted to vote with me, they would have done it, and this tie would have never have happened.
Exactly, and that was the only. And like, yeah, I only stuck. If I knew that Jackson was going to vote for me, I would have voted for Sam, just as kind of like a final fuck you. But I didn't want it to be like 2-1-1 for the after the idol was played. So
Oh yeah, just in case it was like.
Yeah, I wanted to at least I was like, if Jackson's going to stick to the plan, then I want to at least do that and get a tie. But
yeah,
if I knew that he was going to vote for me, I definitely would have voted for Sam.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to vote for Jackson. You don't vote for your allies.
Right. Exactly. I would never. Like that's not anything that would ever cross my mind.
Yeah, you're the anti-Kevin.
Exactly. Exactly. I personally like my allies in the game. I give Kevin a lot of the blame for me going home by like leaking an alliance that didn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin. Should we just talk about Kevin for a little bit? Because I didn't get to recap season 4. Kevin. Because what the fuck was that? Why would? Oh god, the whole like thing with Will and what just happened.
Yeah, it was definitely it was harder on Kevin than he let on in the episode. He called me after that tribal like really upset. And he's not an evil person. He's an evil Survivor player. He is not an evil person.
He plays up his character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this is also kind of mentioned in Keep Your Torch Lit. Well, we're really just get us on that podcast already. Jack, Sam, Sarah, hire me. I'm a big season 2 stan. They kind of mention this as like we kind of already know this. None of you are like evil in the game. It's like other than like Kevin.
Yeah.
Because
Jackson still makes logical choices. Is the thing. Is that like everybody is working to further their own game. So like while it can be looked at a certain move, a certain idea can be looked at as evil by some people, by the people who have the other rooting interests, then it's not going to be looked at that way. Like there are comments that are like, oh, that's the axis of evil. That's crazy. It should be Sam, Lucy, and Adam. And then there's other comments that are like, oh, why is everybody like? And then like there's other comments that are like, why is everyone vilifying Sam, Lucy, and Adam? And it's like there's no black or white. It is fully dependent on like your rooting interests and who you want to see go far. But those people are still all looking out for their own best interests. That's the thing about Kevin, is that he will do things and make moves for chaos reasons, for reasons that like he just doesn't want to go with what's easy because it's not fun. Kevin wants to have fun first and play good Survivor second.
Which you kind of have to appreciate, because if he just simply went with the plan to vote off Megan or the plan to vote off Andrew, it just would have been another boring sangria, and everybody was already calling sangria the boring tribe. Kevin had to do something to change it up.
Exactly.
And again, looking at this axis of evil, Jackson is also not really evil. Like, outside of his confessionals, what has he done that's villainous?
Nothing.
Exactly.
He hasn't had. I mean, he also hasn't had the opportunity to. Like he.
But even
you
if you
can't.
look at his first season, what did he do
Yeah,
that's
that's
villainous
true.
outside of
Nothing.
talk shit people?
Right. Yeah. Nothing. He's a
Jackson
villain
is
in
this-
personality.
Yeah, he's a sweet. Jackson is secretly a sweetheart. He just doesn't want people to know it.
I adore Jackson, but I did once, like during season 4, I was filming a confessional for him, and there was like a couple of his friends in the room, and he was like, he left the room for a moment, and I just turned to his friends and I was like, is he always like this, or is he just doing this for the camera? And they just were like, oh, he's always like this, which that was really funny. But on the other hand, during All Stars, Jackson and I were like walking from Espresso Royale, which is like where everybody did all of their meetups. And
I'm surprised no meetups happened at the same time, since you all just
no,
meet up
I
at the
know
exact
that
same
is
place.
so true. You have to like scout it out first, you know. But we were walking from there, and we saw, I swear to God, the tiniest dog I have ever seen in my life. This man literally squealed. Like literally truly squealed, and I was like, this is a good man. Like, I don't care about anything else. He squealed at a tiny dog. This is a good man.
And to answer your question, actually, 18 fake idols, that's not evil. That's just concerning with how much time you have. Where does this man find the time to make 18 fake idols? Where did he get the products?
I don't know. He's in he makes law school look very easy. He's a great advertisement for law school, because clearly nothing is going on.
Yeah, come to law school. You can even play Survivor and still somehow pass. Just thinking of Jackson now squealing at a tiny dog.
Oh my God, it was an amazing moment. But I am a Jackson stan till I die, so.
Yeah, I don't want to admit it, but I like him now. I remember hating him throughout all of season 4 until like the episode before he got sent home.
Oh my God, incorrect opinion.
Yeah, I know. I have horrible opinions of people. They're always negative until I get to talk to them, and then I'm like, oh no, I feel like a jackass.
See, if you just started positively, then you could avoid that.
Starting positive, never heard of it. Everything starts negative until proven. Just like in Survivor, everything is true until it's proven a lie.
I feel like it's the opposite in Survivor. I assume everything's a lie until it's proven true.
But I feel like these people will believe anything they're told.
Oh, okay. Like I want to give a shout out. I forgot to do this on Keep Your Torchlight, but on that note, I want to give a shout out to Moose Caboose in the Discord.
Harry.
Okay, so this comment I loved. This is from even before my boot episode. This is from the 12th of January, and he says, "Feels like it doesn't matter how hard Sam can mess something up, he'll still come out of Tribal unscathed. He could literally pull a gun on Brady at Tribal, and the tribe would go, nah, let's vote out Erin instead." And I was like, I had never felt so seen than reading that message. And that was before I was even voted out. But I'm like, it's so true. Like, how is the concept, the idea of me being in an alliance with the 3 other people on the bottom of this game, how is that scarier than Sam being a literal 3-headed dragon? Don't ask me.
This is why I picked him for my draft. I said this man has the power to be a constant target and never go home.
It's insane. It's literally
he and
insane.
Cooper have this weird ability of having that happen.
Yeah. I guess it's just about being likable. I'm just not likable enough. I've got haters. Sam and Cooper don't have haters. That's what it is.
Sam and Cooper have haters. It's just they're not as active.
They're not in the game.
I just don't think they're that active. I feel like people are actively trying to get you out. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just like the epitome of male privilege. Who had that episode title
again? That was Eliza, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Eliza. She had it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't want to say that's the only thing I can think of because it's like sexism, but then that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Do you have like any favorite moments from the season? I know you mentioned your last time you were here the whole like that's funny Emily sunk a what's the phrase? I don't know beer pong. I don't go to college.
It was just the last cup. Like I hit the last cup.
Yeah, I know that was like a whole moment for you
That was
before it got.
huge. Yeah, I had a couple good challenge moments. And like Dylan coming out up and telling me that we won the Lego challenge. That was really good. I'm like,
Challenge East.
yeah, any of my like, yeah, little moments of people like that. Like I just loved. I even had like a nice moment with Adam. We were like idol hunting in a library once, and we like found a porn book together. That was really funny.
Survivor Pornhub.
It
I'm
is,
telling
yeah.
you.
Yeah, but
Sure, the next challenge. I'm pretty sure these people are stripping.
uh,
I saw
yeah,
some
probably.
shirtless guy in it.
Probably.
Most likely Cooper.
That was
He
the
looks-
that was also really disappointing to me when so I stuck around after this, like you know that like Akshay is at a couple tribals
Yeah.
and things like that. Like we were invited to kind of help out on the production side of things if we got voted out pre-jury.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
my paper plate award for this season is actually most likely to be a top 5 member of production despite actually not being on production. So it was it was definitely frustrating to like see that the scavenger hunt was the next challenge and that I didn't get to do that because we didn't have a scavenger hunt on season 3. So
Oh yeah, there wasn't one.
I never got to do one. And like that was really disappointing for me. That was like honestly one of the biggest frustrations about being voted out was like not getting to participate in the challenges anymore because I participated in every single challenge in season 3. But
Oh yeah, you even did the wrestling challenge.
mhm.
That must have been fun.
Yeah.
Get your aggression out on some bitch.
I did have fun with that one. That was
Who
like
are you fighting against?
Bailey.
I thought it must have been fun.
It was it was me and Nick versus Bailey and Kevin.
Yeah, that must have been fun. Insider info on scavenger hunt for season 3.
There wasn't one, Akshay.
That's the insider. There wasn't one. Yeah, if I ever somehow do a Survivor or something, which will most likely never happen, the scavenger hunt is definitely one of those challenges you want to
No.
do. It's like it's gonna make a Drag Race reference, but I don't know if you watched that.
I do not.
What's the Survivor challenge that everybody looks forward to? It's like the Survivor. It's like if you want touchy subjects to happen and you get voted off right before it does.
Yeah, hold on, sorry. Just trying to
No
eat
worries.
a book,
I mean, that's one with your education.
I guess.
Eat your books. I guess.
Quiet. Sorry, people are arriving.
My party people. I was just about to. What was I just about to do? I was about to say, like, do you want to give like final words to your All Stars experience?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna have to open the door in a second.
No worries.
Yeah, it was like I don't have a lot of regrets. That's just kind of how I live my life. And hi, 1 second. I'm on a. This is Chloe. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Chloe.
Yes, we all know Chloe. Yeah, I would say I don't have any real regrets. I think I slightly mishandled, obviously, my first conversation with Sam in week 1, but I think I don't regret telling him the truth. Like, yes, we stand Chloe.
Yeah, we like Chloe. It's really hoping
I
to be
don't.
on this
I
season.
like. I just wanted to. All I was trying to do there was like be honest with Sam and just be like, listen, I'm trying to throw you a bone, even though you just royally fucked up. And that was my mistake. You know, is throwing Sam a bone, which, you know, you give him an inch and he takes a mile, and he's clearly been taking a mile. But I don't have any regrets of how I handled anything. I took it personally at the time, obviously, because I had a lot of shit going on. And it was just built up the entire tribal of just being sad and sad. So, yeah, I still love most of the people that I played with. So yeah, no real regrets. Sad that it had to end the way that it ended, but if we're being honest, regardless of when I would have gone home, I would have been crying. So, sorry to disappoint anybody that was rooting for me. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions, my Discord DMs are open. Any questions that weren't answered here on Keep Your Torch Lit. But I just I love how much people love Survivor Michigan. Even if you were rooting for me, please keep loving Survivor Michigan. Ian is the most talented person I know, so we have to keep supporting him.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same without you, honestly. Like,
Thank
now
you.
who's going to drive the story of the season?
You'll have to. I don't know. We'll have to find somebody else, I guess.
Who else are you going to root for this
Jackson.
season?
Root for Jackson and Megan. We can root for them.
What's their ship name? Maxon? Jagan?
That's better than Jegan. Yeah, I think Maxon's better.
Team Maxon. Are you team Axis of Heroicism? Sam, Lucy, and Adam.
God.
Or who knows? Maybe your team. Who's a random person in the season? Maybe your team. Bree.
We do love Bree. Bree's great.
Yes. Bree has not gotten a lot of screen time, and that's most likely because she hasn't gone to many tribals, but we need more Bree time.
Yes. Bree time's always good.
Yeah. And like Erin mentioned, she's in the Survivor Reddit Discord in the Michigan channel. If you want to send her praise, tell her she was robbed again.
Feel free.
We'll
accept it.
Yeah. And thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Michigan trauma experience.
Absolutely.
Bye everyone.